Hello, everyone. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to the second episode of ClintChamSpeaks, the podcast. My name is Charmaine, and we are so much excited to announce that we're going to have today a special guest for our second podcast where we highlight amazing, successful stories of visionaries, mentors, authors, speakers, and startups about their S.T.A.R journey. What does S.T.A.R stands for? S for the situation that made one decide to start something. T for the task that one needs to do. A for the action taken. R for the result. Stay tuned and listen and learn as we head on to ClintChamSpeaks, the podcast. Today's guest is no other than Amazing Almasa. She is a global citizen, a solopreneur businesswoman with a natural talent for smooth blending and communicating with other cultures. A seasoned PR elite networker with an outstanding unique style, she excels in connecting the dots backward and forward. A well-recognized brand strategist and mentor. She also offers bespoke advisory services supported by 4 decades of professional experience in lifestyle and luxury. Multilingual communicator by essence, Almasa is a French Catholic with Italian roots, absolutely passionate by cultural diversity and cuisine. As a style influencer very keen on the Arabic civilizations and trends, she has traded her prior French name to Almasa, meaning diamond in Arabic, to align with the local environment when moving to Dubai in 2013. She is currently developing Atwa by Almasa, her own line of jewelry based on sending a resilient message advocating tolerance from the UAE to the world. Prior to Dubai, Almasa was living in Cannes since 1980 as a PR and business facilitator, dealing with foreign companies and assisting elite VIP clients in media, communication, and high-end tourism lifestyle sector. This includes 25 years in the mega yachts industry in diverse roles such as charter and sale broker, concierge services, and DIBS sole agent. Almasa runs her own boutique consultancy management agency, A by A Consulting, focusing on social impact projects with a humanitarian dimension aiming to build a better tomorrow. As exploring the MENA region since 1994, she offers to share her wealth of sophisticated knowledge of the local market with brands and partners for innovative concepts related to cross-culture and giving back to the community in diverse sectors of lifestyle, F&B, fashion, jewelry, environment, supported by a solid networking portfolio of top-notch key decision makers, either private, governmental, or institutional, gained over 40 years of intensive elite networking within the MENA region and Europe, as traveling extensively since 2005 to scrutinize both markets. Almasa is also a professional simultaneous interpreter in French and English, speaks fluent conversational Italian and Spanish, and studies Arabic. More than the language, her connecting tool is to share the culture of these nations and places the human factor as a key role. She listens carefully to the client's expectation to provide a bespoke answer for the perfect match result. Almasa holds an MBA on International Commerce and a diploma in Specialized English. Intuitive, strategic, with strong negotiating skills, she handles highly confidential deals to assist international brands and individual peers in diverse segments development. Almasa strongly contributes to the women empowerment as a sought-after keynote speaker and mentor. In March 2017, she has received the Shukran Trophy Award from the Dubai Businesswomen Council as its contributing ambassador and has also been appointed Humanitarian Global Goodwill Ambassador for the UAE since 2018. Without any much further ado, please help me welcome Amazing Almasa. Good evening to you, Almasa. How are you?
Good evening, Charmaine. I'm very well. Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure and my honor to be part of your second edition.
it is a blessing, in fact, to have you and to meet you very, very recently. And I'm so much grateful that you allowed me to use our platform, the ClintChamSpeaks, to highlight your journey, your star journey for today, and to our audience that will be listening in this podcast. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
My pleasure indeed, and I am so happy because I love to support new initiatives, and I'm also, as you mentioned, I'm a global citizen with a wide, broad vision, and I love to mix cultures, so I'm really, really happy to be part of your show.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine. So let's start the ball rolling. With regards to your experience, I have read a very impressive profile of your journey, professionally and personally speaking. So based on the context of today's podcast, it's the S.T.A.R journey. So please bring us your life before this amazing Almasa happened in your life, in your journey. What was I would say, your experience in your early years in your career? Can you please bring us back to that moment and share it to us? Thank you.
Certainly. So I've been, we need more time because, I'm 59 and I have 40 years of experience.
I know. But I have to commend you that you don't look like one. I mean, wow! Everybody should age like this very gracefully, like what you are right now, and you don't look your age, to be honest.
That's one of the things that I'm totally pledging, which is, authenticity all the way through. And whenever you have that authenticity, you age gracefully, and if you accept yourself. Self-acceptance is the key of inner happiness. And to tell you about my experience, I left home very early. I left home at 17, went to England to learn English, and then I moved far away from my family and was totally independent from the age of 18, where I was based in the French Riviera with the rich and famous from the beginning, because my future was to be at the Palm Beach Casino with all the lifestyle that brought the 1980s. At that time, life was really light, and money was flowing around, and it was a really good experience. Then I worked a lot in the media in Cannes. I was doing PR for the men festival, like the film festival, the Midcom, the Mid-TV,
amazing.
and all the other type of convention. And I worked, then I moved to the corporate life, which was absolutely not my line, but I moved for 3.5 years to the tourist board, where I was showing the city for the people coming to visit and organize convention. Then the big step happened when I moved to the yachting, because yachting was a total different dimension. Mega yachts was really like, the elite of the elite, and it has brought me a lot of connection, as well as a lot of anecdotes and a lot of pressure. But I think that was a fantastic school, and very, very early, as early as it can be, after 2 experiences with big companies, I decided to settle on my own, which I did in 1994, and ever since I've been self-employed and a solopreneur. So I'm a very pioneer woman. I've always been fighting within the very, very natural sexist environment, and I've always been at the top of whatever I did, because this is my mindset. It doesn't mean I didn't face failures, but I've always been, always trying to reach the top. The massive step was, of course, moving definitely to Dubai, which I was visiting for the first time in 1994 and didn't like it at all. Then I came back in 2001 and I didn't get the call, but the call came from 2005 to 11. I was, as mentioned, the sole agent for the Dubai Boat Show, and I was implementing the French pavilion for them. And I was like coming every 2 months for 2 weeks. And apart from summer, where all the guys come to the front, but that's what really really starts to really show me, because they said 1 year in Dubai is 10 years in Europe, and I see the buzz, I see the dynamic, I see the achievement, I see the megapolis being built in front of my eyes, and then being destroyed in front of my eyes, and being raised again. And I started to look at the spirit of Dubai, and I said that's the place I should move to. So I came in 2013, and as I came, I started to immediately integrate myself socially, mostly not only culturally, but on the public scene, because I was attending even the opening of an envelope. I was, part of any type of events in town to make myself known and build myself as a brand. As you mentioned, I trade my name to Almasa because I have a French name that nobody could pronounce. I mean, pronounce was kind of okay with the local people, but to read whenever I was attending events and so on, that was a drama. I didn't like my name in the first place, but at least, I wanted it to be a bit respected. So I traded to Almasa, which I choose because it means diamond in Arabic, as well as Alma in Spanish is the soul. And since I'm in Dubai, I'm extremely spiritual. I've completely shifted my business where I was in the big money circle with a lot of shallow people, a lot of business-oriented and money-driven people. I've totally shifted it to the humanitarian side, and I've also I have totally reinvented myself, because when you change your name, of course the vibrations are different.
True.
Is different. And I have really embraced the Dubai lifestyle, which is to always challenge yourself and always try to reach the better version of yourself.
Okay. Hearing you telling us the story of your journey, okay, when you mentioned about living living from your place at age as early as 17 years old, okay, 17 years of age, and you went to the French Riviera, which is, I would say, most of the people that I know who are already famous wanted to build their home in French Riviera, So one famous, I would say, fashion designer Michael Cinco mentioned that that is one of his goals to have his own villa in the French Riviera. So you have a very colorful, I would say, journey, and you have actually journeyed across to, I would say, lucrative and high profile industries. When you talk about yachting, Dubai boat, of course, it's not something you will just drag off. These are like the elite, these are the elite group of people who can only afford the yacht. So based on your story, you have a very colorful and a very established and a very high profile lucrative situation or scenario in the past. But what made you decide to leave all those, okay, and finally settle yourself and starting your own solopreneur or your own business as a brand strategist, of which most people cannot just neglect that kind of opportunity, but you still headed and started on your own?
Absolutely, because as I mentioned, I've always been, within a lot of male-ish environment, and I've always make a point to be outstanding. Not in an egoistic manner, but in a very inspirational manner that has been totally enhanced and boosted since I moved to Dubai. And I come, by the way, from a very, very conservative bourgeois family. My mom's side was on the noble path, and of course, for them it was a shock and a drama for me to leave home so quickly, not to be married, go completely out of the path.
True, yeah.
So.
and good thing they allowed you, not even reaching the age of 18. I mean, most parents expect you to still go to school and finish college and university before you can leave that, before you decide on which place you wanted to go and settle or work.
That's one of my things. I go to learn, but I hate school. I really hate to be framed because I love to be free. So I make the people laugh because now I brag to have a PhD at the University of Life.
Oh,
And it's really
okay.
funny because I'm keynote speaker for some very high profile business school in Dubai. And I was giving a lecture with one of them. Then I sat, it was an event evening, and I sat at the table to have dinner with the principal. And he said, actually, when I read that, I said, for me to be giving lecture in a school, it's like if you take a blind woman to a sunglass shop, you know.
Mm.
And he said, actually, when I read your bio, I thought it was a typo mistake for the PhD. Because also what I found out is life is a city in Scotland, but it's a city in America where they provide very reputable PhD for chiropractor, but this is a totally different story, by the way.
But that is a
So
very good, I would say, clincher there, a very good icebreaker that people will really think highly of you, that you are a PhD. But when you said the University of Life, it made them more glued to what you really do and what you're speaking about, because it doesn't entail somebody to be like theoretically, I would say, aligned as a PhD, but you can be a PhD of life.
totally, and this is exactly what I'm doing now, by the way, because I want to inspire people. I want to help them to find their inner glow, to align their body and soul, and to be aligned with the environment. Because I've coined the term style influencer, and when people see me, I'm always very, very elegant. I'm always extremely outstanding, and very much noticeable. So when they see my title, they said, of course, you are in fashion and so on. I said, it's not only that, it's that I really help the people to get their inner glow. And because if you bring your inner glow out, you bring your internal beauty, and that this is the internal one, and this is the one that belongs to you, and nobody can hide or steal that from you. I'm totally against any kind of surgery. Never a needle has approached my skin, and I for me, it's an insult to nature when you go and have that type of standardized aesthetic, which makes you lose your personality and which looks totally like aliens, So I know I will not have a lot of friends when I say that, but this is the way I think.
Yes,
And
true.
Of course, if you have a major aesthetic problem, of course, but to have to have the face of an Ajram or an Elisa or trying to look like someone, I don't agree, because you have to be yourself. And
True, agree.
You have to find your own beauty within yourself. So what I do as a style influencer, I'll go and help the people within their own wardrobe, to assemble things in a different way. Because yet, it takes 7 seconds to make an impression when you meet somebody. And then when you do business, believe it or not, 85% of the business is based on the appearance. So this is like a massive asset. And having like the education I'm blessed to have got, the self-confidence I've been developing over years, this is really something that I love to really share extensively. And lately I'm giving some French etiquette lessons and presentations, as well as art de la table, which is how to behave, and I extend it also how to network. I have some sessions called "Do You Speak My Culture," which is so important. You mentioned it in my bio. I'm passionate about culture, totally passionate, and I'm a strong, bold communicator. But the language is one thing, but the culture is what really leads the people. If you understand the culture and respect the culture, yet you are included in that culture, and this is essential, totally essential.
Very well said. And this is the thing, because you are at the right place at the right time with your right intentions. And just as you were telling me earlier, your experience coming to Dubai for the very first time, and then it took you quite some time to finally, start your own, I would say, business with regards to style influencer thing, or this brand strategy, and so on and so forth. If I'm not mistaken, that was in the year 2013. Am I right?
Very correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, and the last year that you mentioned prior to settling down and starting something from your side, that was in 2011. So it took you 2 years somehow to finally decide that, okay, let me start doing things on my own, at my own, pace, with a kind of alignment that I have, and with this kind of passion that I have that I wanted to impart to women. So what took you that 2 year gap of deciding? What task
Well,
that you identified that you needed to do? So we're now in letter T. The task that you needed to do, following your own journey and following your own passion.
Well, it took me, I wanted to come to Dubai before, but I couldn't afford to do so, because of course you need to have a solid finance backup when you come to Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been stopped by something that, it's a drama, but it's a drama that I would advise everyone to face at a point. I got my closest friend that was diagnosed with lung cancer,
Okay.
and in December 2010, and I was at that time intending to move to Dubai, but I decided to stay on her side, and I
Wow.
helped her for the last 6 months of her life to go through that.
Wow.
And this is one of the real worst and best experience you can have in life, because that really value your life at a totally different level.
True.
And what I've done also, there is a book that has completely changed my life that I strongly recommend to anyone to read. It's The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And these 4 agreements are a life changer whenever you manage to implement them in your life. The first one is that the verb has to be impeccable, meaning that whatever you say, you have, sometimes you feel like you don't want to share something because you will hurt the feeling of the person.
True.
But actually, if you keep it within yourself, it's an emotional poison. So you have to let it go.
True.
Even if the person doesn't like it, you have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is that you should never take things personally.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a very, very hard statement, because you need a lot of maturity to let the things go, and things that it's not a personal thing that comes to you, So this one took me quite a long time to really absorb.
Exactly.
And then it's like never build assumption, because if you build assumption, when people said no, he will not accept that, and so I said, you are not allowed to say that, because you are not in the mind of the person. So, and that has led me in my deals to really amazing negotiation, where I thought it would never happen, but it did. Because if you really believe in things, you make them happen. If you are really positive in your mindset, and if you really are persuasive, you make things happen. And finally, the 4th agreement is it's really so much resonating with Dubai, because it's always do your best. Whatever happens, even if you are not happy with the result, as long as you have done your best, then you cannot change the situation. And by the way, I'm very happy and proud to be named as a key opinion leader and positive thought leader. And there is words that I've totally excluded from my vocabulary, which is if, but, and you should have. Because these words are totally useless. They, as well as boss, because I've always been at the top positions, but I've never used the term boss. I've always used the term leader. You lead the people, you let them express themselves, and you need them. And a leader is the one that shows the way and let the other follow at their own pace. That's
Agree.
That's what a lot of people need to learn.
Exactly. Agree with you. Totally. Yes. Amazing. I love the inputs that you have mentioned over there from this book. And I think I would be asking you to reiterate the name of the book later towards the end of our show. So, yeah, so after doing the necessary task of uprooting yourself from your comfort zone and finally settling in this place called Dubai because you felt that it was a land of, an opportunity to mingle with different cultures, which you would wanted to really, this is something which you are passionate about to mingle and to learn from the different cultures. And we have a multicultural
119.
Exactly. How many to be exact? How many
219 diverse
Amazing. 219 cultures in this country. Just wow. This is the first time I've heard this number, but these are the things which we don't seem to bother, but when you hear the fact that it's like that, so we have to maximize what we can, learn first and foremost, and how we can add value to the setting of this multicultural faceted place such as Dubai. Amazing. So
the most amazing in Dubai, it's the communication in between people, because there is a total acceptance of diversity, and
Sure.
most importantly, there is a total absolute security. So when you are in security, you communicate at a different level. And this is a big salute I want to pay to the leaders in the country, because this is really something that it's unique in the world, and it's making the best place to live at the moment, for sure.
Exactly. I totally agree. And in a personal perspective and a personal experience, I've been here since 2004. So just imagine also. Yeah.
I was there too, coming and going. So
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yes. This has been the second home of a lot of people like you and like me. True. And moving forward, so you took the action of settling yourself over here and making the most out of what you had experienced and what connections you have created in the past. And then moving forward to, I would say, actualize your goal of meeting more people and making yourself also, I would say, useful in terms of giving your talks as a key opinion leader, as you said, and a positive thought leader in empowering other women as well. So I think with the way that you have done it, this has been the best, I would say, achievement, would you consider, in your life at the moment, or you're still looking for more in terms of goals in the coming years?
Well, I'm a very vivid spirit. I have like 100 ideas per hour, and I love the crazy things. I love to be super innovative. And most of the times that I make things happen that people are doubtful, And one of the biggest massive change in my life since I'm in Dubai was to join the Dubai Business Women Council, which is part of the Dubai Chamber.
Wow.
And, which is the platform for women. And as you mentioned, I received in March, I joined them in January 2014, and in March 2017, they dedicated me, they gave me the Shukran Trophy Award as a reward of contributing ambassador and most loyal member. And for me, that was such an achievement. And ever since, I'm strongly involved into women empowerment, because you see that's one of the entities in Dubai that really helps about self-development and as well as corporate development. And it's not it's not an elite circle. It's for all women, and it's very inclusive. We have a lot of diverse nationality, diverse background. You just need to be in a business or you don't need to be an entrepreneur. You can be also a corporate person. And this is really one of the things that has changed my life, because through them also I have been lucky enough to really enlarge my circles. And now I'm not a snob, but now of course I'm more selective, because on LinkedIn I've reached the 30,000 contact maximum, which I keep deleting to include new ones.
Okay.
And because I'm a very strong socialite.
Mm-hmm.
I was a strong socialite on the ground before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I was attending like more 3 to 4 events a week and 20 events a day, and people were telling me, you are all over. Once somebody said it seems you are part of the family because we see you every day.
For as long as your presence is required, of course, because your inputs, aside from being yourself as a speaker, but also networking with a new set of people, new friends, or new visionaries, or new people who would want to know more about what you do. This is the spirit of connectivity. Yeah, you can't just, especially now with the COVID times, you can't just be locked up in one corner and start whining and complaining and trying to analyze and overanalyze. You can't blame the situation. This is already it. So you have to do something from your end, and that's the beauty of our technology, because even though we can't see each other face to face, but we can still connect, just like this podcast right now. So your message can still be heard.
Totally. This is the beauty of COVID, because COVID has brought a different way of communicating, and it has also brought much more people together. Because when you were working from your office, you were dedicating yourself into pre-established tasks. Now you reach people globally, and there is not that proximity of face-to-face meetings. You can still, thanks God we are back to that, because personally I do prefer the human energy than the screen. But I have expanded my network during COVID tremendously to now I'm very much focusing on Africa, trying to develop some humanitarian concept in Africa.
Amazing.
Because
That's really
what
good.
I've learned also big time in Dubai since I live here is to give back to the community,
Mm-hmm.
to be grateful, and to develop a project that really help, not financially, because everybody at the moment is suffering financially,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a strong CSR spirit.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of things to be done in kind, like giving food to the one that can't afford it. And we also organize some volunteering in Dubai by giving. We are a platform of really nice spirit people, and I'm also a global goodwill ambassador with the DGA family, and we are organizing some distribution of food for the people really in need. And another thing that I really think would be necessary to raise, and we yesterday we were talking about it, is to have a platform for women that are in distress, and to have here, not only mostly women, but even men that
Mm-hmm.
are really like need, somebody to open up as a moral and moral distress.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I strongly recommend to build as a platform, because what COVID has shown is that the whole world now works by community.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the business side, all the brands now are merging together. There is no more space for independents. There is no more space for solo people.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered it at my expense.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a corporate person, but now I do really talk to merge and partner with people, because one hand on its own cannot clap. So you need two hands, and you have to accept to really, you have to totally change your vision of the business and change your vision of the competition mostly.
That's very well said. And this is actually what we have emphasized in yesterday's discussion. We had a chance to talk to be part of that session yesterday. And yes, a government alone can do it on their own. We need the teamwork of everybody. We need the whole community to work as a team together, and this involves government, non-government organizations, and even the cultural organizations, to work hand in hand and make this place a safer place to live despite of the pandemic that is going on. And not only financial, not only emotional, but most of all the mental, the mental aspect of people nowadays, trying to I would say face the financial crunch, the losing their jobs, losing their income, losing their businesses. And it takes the effort of everyone, each one of us, to make people at least be aware that we are here to hear them. We are here to listen to them, to be of support in at least with a moral distress counseling that we can do for them. And this is a very good platform that you have mentioned, and kudos to you for spearheading this, and count me in also, Almasa.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yes.
With pleasure.
Yes.
Pleasure, because we are blessed to be part of YACAD, the Islamic Affairs and Charitable Department, that are extremely active in promoting the culture, in promoting the women, and this is a great organization organized by His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Center.
Oh, okay.
So this shows also the spirit of Dubai, to really always go towards the people, to help them, and to inquire. What I really love with the Emirati spirit, and I'm blessed to know really the elite of the elite, and the higher you go on the society, the more humble the people are, and they are so humble.
Yes.
I've learned humility in Dubai, because as a French, I can teach and preach arrogance. You know how arrogant are the French.
Yes.
But I've totally shifted since I came to Dubai, by being extremely humble, and by also listening, and to merge with all level of society. And the respect we live into is fantastic. The protection we live into. This is a country where they preserve, they protect the women so much, and they preserve the women so much. They protect the women, they preserve the economy. That's why they are reacting so well and so quickly to the COVID crisis.
Agree. I totally agree with that. And so after you have taken all these actions in your life, I would say you have maximized based on your skills, your potential, making use of your talent, and living in this part of the world that is open to these things. What has been the personal impact it gives you? What has been the result for you personally, having left your comfort zone, having left the corporate world in terms of working for somebody, and now working on your own, and now starting a movement to empower women, and still do your things on the side? What has been the personal satisfaction or the result that it has impacted you on a personal level?
Well, the biggest result is that I've found my inner happiness. That's the total achievement that I will never be grateful enough, because I've also reached spirituality in Dubai. And as such, I'm also, because as a French, I was totally appalled by seeing the preconceived idea people have, and the hatred developed in France against Islam, which is pegged to terrorism, as well as Muslims to be pegged with Arabs. Because when you live in Dubai, you find out there is so many different Muslims from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from the northern CIS countries, and so forth. Even China, etc. So what I've been doing, I was looking at the way to really send a strong message of tolerance, because we have had the year of tolerance last year, and tolerance is key to the nation. So I'm building up a concept, developing my own line of jewelry, which is to create a community platform of like-minded women and men, because men, of course, can buy the jewels, and extensively I will also develop a maish line. And this is to really answer that preconceived idea, and to include into it all the big brands, all the massive layers on the society, which is not only the jewelry and fashion, because of course it is, but it's also, all the social factors that need to join that to really create a change and build that platform that will provide and promote interfaith harmony worldwide. It's not to convert people at all. It's to really demonstrate that we can perfectly live together in an absolute harmony as we are in Dubai. So we have to duplicate that role model in the other part of the world. And my jewelry line will be one of the channels to do so. And this is really something that came to my mind as I was living here, and that's one of my biggest achievements. As well as creating, I've created my mantra, which is past is my wealth, present is my addiction, and future is my dream.
Wow, very well said. I love it. Thank you so much. And with regards to the project that you have just mentioned a while back, where can we expect this to be out live, or for people to be able to have a glimpse in this array of jewelry that will be coming up? Or is this something which is going to be launched soon, or what is the timeline for this if it's already planned?
I wish I can say soon.
Okay.
The COVID has been absolutely devastating impact on that, because first of all, most of my affordable line component comes from China for the assembly in Dubai, but so that's of course not a good news.
Okay.
And the jewelry and fashion business at the moment is pretty much impacted. So to launch it, I'm really working on it, because the idea is to involve the Ministry of Tolerance, the Ministry of Art and Culture, and the Ministry of Happiness into it. And I've yet met with them, and because my real dream and goal is to make myself the ambassador of tolerance, not the minister at all, but the ambassador of tolerance. So what I'm doing on my Instagram page, which is Almasa F. ALUNNI. I'm promoting the style, which every day I take my picture in front of my mirror to inspire a woman to dress up, to be elegant, and to smile before starting your day. So this is a very strong statement of self-acceptance and elegance that you need to embrace. And that way I also introduce my line of jewelry, because every day I wear a different piece, which by the way, every single piece is different, because it's made based on your style, on your taste, and so forth.
Wow.
So this is I have a different type of lines. Some are they are really eye-catching piece of jewelry, and I have 3 different lines which address the youngest, the middle, and I have like the 16 to 25. I have then 20 to 40, and I have the 30 to 70 for the future line. Or you can wear them for weddings, or really exceptional. I mean, for me, because of my age, I wear my couture every day.
Which is a very good statement, especially when you are I would say attending events. You have to. Yes, you have to. Yeah.
But I live. I'm very, very often into Mall of the Emirates, and people stop me. People stopped me and said, "Oh my God, you're so elegant! Oh my God, I love your jewelry!" And when I said that this is my design, they really they want to buy it.
Are you looking into the possibility of having your pieces, I would say, shown online at least? Like if you have already.
Not yet, because I'm a perfectionist. This is one of my difficulties, and I want things to be really ready to go, and I want things to be like A to Z ready to go. I haven't yet some offers, and I'm considering some.
Okay.
But to go online opens up to all also people that can copy the concept and spoil it, because it has to be really spiritually oriented. It's it will be profitable, but it's not a money-driven project. So I don't want people that comes and spoil it,
I understand.
By the wrong interpretation of it. So that's one of the things.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Yes, please. I'll be looking forward to it, and I think it is something different. It's not just about putting the accessories to beautify yourself, but it actually involves solidarity and tolerance, because it represents different I would say maybe countries or culture that would represent your jewelry, and there's an interpretation that comes along with it. So it needs the proper launching.
Totally, absolutely. And you see, if you address it to the Indian community or the Filipino community, with the Filipino, because my jewelry bears Allah and Muhammad, and I've developed a logo for tolerance. So with some, it can be a bit of a challenge, but when they understand the concept, they totally embrace it. That's why, I need to be completely waterproof before going online.
True. So that you can exactly. And I think this ongoing, I would say, downtime due to the pandemic and all, will give you a lot of, I would say, background support, or to create that momentum, so that once it's out there, then everything is already refined and properly sorted.
Totally.
Okay.
And it keeps gravitas also.
Okay, so for us to be able to, end the show, what is your key message to our podcast audience, especially the women, or to the men and women who will be listening to us in this podcast once it's broadcasted on YouTube or in Spotify, for example? What are the active steps that they need to do for them to be able to find that alignment, to follow their passion, to find their inner happiness, just like you did? What is your advice?
They just have to contact me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Amazing Almasa. Of course, you can be contacted through Instagram. Yeah.
But I really mean it, because I help people to see themselves, to see. I help them to bring that out, and I break them. I break the codes where people very often get stuck into, which instead of building them, destroy them. So this is one of the things I can help them with.
Okay, great.
And the thing is, there is no secret. The more you learn, the better this S.T.A.R player, the golf player, he said, the more I play, the luckier I get. Because the more you practice, the better you get.
Exactly, very well said. Yes. Thank you so much, Amazing Almasa. Correct me if I'm wrong. The way I pronounce your family name is Alunni or Alunni?
Alunni.
Alunni. So thank you so much. So the
Italian origins.
Okay. So please, for those of you who are listening to this podcast, you can catch up Almasa in her Instagram page. It's Almasa. That's ALMASA.F.Alunni. ALUNNI. Am I correct?
Perfect.
Okay, so please touch base with her, and looking forward to this launch that's going to be happening hopefully hopefully soon if we can. But in the meantime, we'll just have to check on what's your update in Instagram. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. And then please, I want you to have your last words to our audience before I close. Like just
be yourself, and always try to reach the better version of yourself. Never give up. Failure comes when you give up. You never give up, and always try, not in an obsessive manner, but always try to improve yourself. You have to learn one thing a day minimum. If not, the day is wasted. So even small things, but you always have to learn a new word, a new recipe. It doesn't meant to be only educational, you always need to learn something. Keep on learning, because that's the best way to grow in life.
Okay, and that book that you mentioned earlier for them to read, can you just reiterate that?
Of course, it's the fourth. Now it turned it even to 5 agreement, but it's the four agreement. And the name of the author is Don, D-O-N, Miguel, M-I-G-U-E-L, Luis, L-U-I-Z.
Oh,
Miguel
okay.
Ruiz.
Okay, perfect.
With the R, not with the L, with the R. Don Miguel Ruiz.
Ruiz. Okay, R-U-I-Z.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll look forward to that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to ClintChamSpeaks, the podcast. We hope that we're able to impact and inspire everyone in the sharing of Amazing Almasa's S.T.A.R journey. And thank you so much, Almasa, for your time and for generously sharing to us your journey. It was a very enriching and engaging conversation today. I wish you all the best in your upcoming events, in your upcoming jewelry launch. Yeah. And it is such a pleasure, it is such a pleasure having you. It was a very fun time talking to you and engaging with you. I myself learned a lot from you, and you are right. We have to continue to be grateful. We have to continue to be positive in life. And despite of what is happening around us, there's always hope, right? Once we believe.
We have to keep it this way. Absolutely. God bless.
Okay, so let us learn and apply the principles to make our lives worth living based on Almasa's story. And I would like to greet everyone a happy day. Today is a Saturday, and hopefully once you listen to this podcast in whichever day, you'll get a lot of inputs from Amazing Almasa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. And this is Charmaine from ClintChamSpeaks. Stay tuned for another insightful talk in the podcast. More power and God bless.